ventriloquism show. Testing one, testing one, test 1, 2, 3. Boom. Okay. All right. Can we hear me now on stream? Yes. Look, I got my headphones on. I feel like a sportscaster. I'm going to go through the highlights of the Super Bowl. Anybody watch the Super Bowl? It's just like this big sporting match we have here in America. It involves what we call football, what the Europeans call pointless. They have their own name for it, but that's what we do. I don't know if Canadians watch it or not. We'll have to find out. Welcome to Something Up My Sleeve. This is where we meet world-class performers and ask them, what do you have up your sleeve? Meaning, what do you bring to the table? What makes you stand out as a performer, as a magician? We've had a couple great episodes so far with some awesome participation. Two amazing guests I have here today, Boris Wilde and Eric Leclerc. We pre-recorded Boris because it's like middle of the night, I think, in Europe, something like that. I don't know. I don't really get the construct of time. So I've got a video that hopefully came together. We had a lot of technical difficulties, which I'm used to. Don't know really how to overcome them, but I'm used to having them. So I figure, hey, let's start out with something cool, like an actual bit of magic, since we're magicians, right? So we don't always get to see a trick. We're going to talk shop, but here's a fun one that I actually didn't start working on until the pandemic. So this is one that was sitting on my shelf that was like, hey, let me see how this thing works. And it freaks me out every time. It involves one rather large playing card. And hey, you don't know, you have no idea how large a deck I'm working with. This is, name a card, any card? Yes, indeed. Somebody said Queen of Hearts. Beautiful job, beautiful. This is my lovely assistant. Her name is Annette. We're working together because safety first. Because I'm working with, I'm not going to spell it out. Like you guys, you have to earn it. I'm not going to make it easy for you. They're going to be thinking jokes. That's how we're going to do it. So watch as my lovely assistant goes into the box. So this is same kind of box you'd use on stage, right? But this is the quarantine version. And actually, her name is Annette, but I've been calling her Purell because I thought that'd be a great assistant name during all of this. If you didn't know what it was, it's a pretty name, Purell, right? I think that if anybody's just getting into dancing, that'd be great for a beginner dancer. Welcome to the stage, Purell. Guys, get those dollars ready and let's keep it clean. There she is in the box. Now watch. Ninja skills. What? It makes no sense at all. Obviously, I could not pull it out completely because that would be weird, but that's not it. There's no way I could do that. But let me just let me try to see if I can I put her back together? Oh, no. Is she going to go back together? She's going to pull herself together, folks. She's going to try. So come on. You can do this, Purell. She's okay. She's fine. She's okay. Don't even ask. I have no idea how this is done. Don't even ask me. I don't know. It freaks me out every time. That was Annette. I'm working with Annette. Thank you very much. And welcome to the IBM sponsored Something Up My Sleeve. So here's what we have in store today. We have another Magician's Pose contest. We have a pre-recorded video of Boris Wilde, and we have a non-pre-recorded live version of Canada's own Eric Leclerc coming for you in just a little bit. So my name is Michael Dardon, aka Magic Mike, hashtag not that Magic Mike, and I will be your host this evening. And I'm going to start you off with a fun video that hopefully came together. Well, I'm going to see it the first time, just like you. But this is a video of Boris Wild. So give me a second here as I figure out the whole StreamYard agenda. I click share screen, right? Share screen. Yeah. And then audio. And we're going to do Jess. This is looking good. I want to make sure that, oh, no, let me, that was going to work. That was going to work. It started too early. All right. Highlights video. Ladies and gentlemen, French national champion, FISM winner, and Fool Us winner. Welcome, Boris Wild. Dun, 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 dun. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I love it, especially the part that happened in France.
Yes. Oui, oui.
So I didn't do my official intro, which usually happens before your promo. But ladies and gentlemen, any followers to this program, whether it exists on a podcast or you're watching this in your VR headset or it's downloading straight to your brain through some type of microchip, welcome to the metaverse. We're talking magic today on Two Magicians Walk Into a Bar with Boris Wild, who is a FISM winner, also a Grand Prix champion from the France National Championship of Magic. He has been a guest of honor at the 4F convention and has been a friend of mine for quite some time. We've had some adventures together. And so now we get to talk a little shop and welcome him with sore throat. And I wanted to make it more international because we are the International Brotherhood of Magicians. So I want to make sure that our time slot, everything appeals to, our time slot, our color scheme, everything appeals to hashtag America, but, and, hashtag our neighbor Canada. You've heard of Canada. I want to make sure we have more international representatives. So we have a foreigner here with us who's never been to New Orleans, but knows a lot about it because of Princess and the Frog. Boris Wild, thank you for being here. And now we can get on to the questions in order. So question number one, how long have you been French?
Well, yes, I think I've been French for like over 40 years now. I mean, it pretty much coincides with, the moment I was born. So that's pretty
Okay,
much...
I'm sorry. Let me rephrase. When did you first learn you were French? Did it did your parents sit you down or did you read about it in a book?
No, I just heard them like talking in a very, strange language that sounds like, according to American. I mean, that's apparently what we sound like. And
we know that from Disney, actually. We know that that's exactly what the French sound like from Little Mermaid. So we can learn a lot about culture.
Exactly. Like lots of Disney movies happen in France. I mean, think about, Hunchback of Notre Dame and Beauty and the Beast, and, just to name a few.
So it's an interesting question, though, right? Because people always probably ask you, when did you become a magician?
You can maybe say about as long as I've been French. But actually, when did you first started magic? That's a good question just to know an age level.
Well, just a little after I realized I was French. In fact. I don't know if there is a.
See, I told you it's funny. I just said it, and hearing you say it back, I'm cracking up. Just after I learned I was French. Yes.
I was like,
That's
no,
a
I'm
tough thing.
French.
It's two tough things to take on, to learn about yourself. Like, not only am I French, but I'm a magician. Like, how do I explain this to my parents?
Exactly. No, well, in fact, I think that being a magician is just because I learned I was French. So I said, "Oh my God, I'm French now. I know it. I can realize it. So what can I do? Fencing or cooking or all
Sure.
those."
Oh, that brings us to question 7. We never got question 7, and then I got to ask you, the important question of the title of something up my sleeve. But so question 7 is, what was the name of your rabbit? I think that was question number 7. Oh, question number 5. Do you really know? Is that right? Was the rabbit? Question number 5 is, what was the name of your rabbit?
I don't know. I mean, I honestly have lost track of your questions. I don't have them.
Well, there was a 7, but I don't remember what 7 was now. But okay, so on to question 5, because I don't think we ever got the name right. So we just knew that you did have a rabbit. He's no longer with us. Hopefully, it wasn't recent, because then I would feel bad bringing it
I
up.
used to have a rabbit, indeed. I never really, used him for magic because I love animals, and I'm like, you know what, I'm not going to put like small.
Okay, when was this
stuff?
When was this?
When?
Yeah.
Oh, it was, I don't know, about now 10 years ago at least.
Okay, so you're already. All right, I need to start taking a poll of how many magicians have had a pet rabbit that they never used in their act. Because, like, it's obviously dogs and cats are a standard. Rabbits, not so much. But, you must be drawn to that animal because you're a magician, or is it just coincidental? Someone was like, your neighbor's like moving, like, I can't take this rabbit. Here, you take it in. You do magic, right?
Yeah. Well, it was different because it was for my daughter. I mean, she wanted to have a pet.
Okay,
and couldn't get a cat, allergy and everything.
Is much better as a presentation and much more emotionally driven when you are lucky enough to see Boris Wilde performing on stage live. So I hope for all of you, you get the chance to see that. But for now, you'll have to settle for a video. Enjoy. I promise to try. Feels like a lie. Don't let memory fade into your mind. To the faded smile, frozen in time. I'm still hanging on, doing it wrong. Then, when you are lucky enough to see Boris Wilde performing. Can't kiss a goodbye, but I promise to try.
Voilà le mystère des anneaux chinois. Il s'appelle Boris Wilde.
Il s'appelle Boris Wilde.
Hey, So that's my ring routine, which is a tribute to Richard Ross. And so that video dates back from 2008, I think. So it was weird. I haven't watched it for, of course.
That was when you got the bunny.
That's I had the bunny at that time.
And you chose rings. The bunny's sitting there like, he could have done something with me. I've been wanting to be on the show. This is his 6th time.
But I know you've seen probably acts where they have like the doves, like perching on the wings. I tried with the rabbit and it didn't work out well.
Oh, this rabbit wouldn't perch on the ring. That was going to be your ending, right?
Yeah, like
hanging off the ring.
And suddenly you're like, oh,
been there, done that. That's do you guys have that expression, like, or equivalent? So someone's like, why don't you go on the plus grand cabaret du monde? Been there, done that. All right. So how do you say been there, done that correctly in French?
I don't think there's like an equivalent in French, but you can say been there, done that. Oui, j'y suis allé et je l'ai fait. Like,
would that look good on a T-shirt?
I've been there.
Is that it? Like, because you can say been there, done that, got the T-shirt. You know what I mean? That's kind of the full expression. So,
Sounds better in English.
yeah, well, naturally,
Yeah.
but I think that could work on a shirt. You could have that on a T-shirt. Been there, done
Yes,
that. Yeah.
yes.
How about Boris Wilde, and then on the back, been there, done that, but in French.
I would not wear that. And then
I'm gonna wear it. I saw you perform that I saw you perform the ring routine in New York for Monday Night Magic. I think it was the first time I saw it. And Harrison Greenbaum introduced you.
Yes.
Was the MC.
Oh,
You're already laughing. So do you remember the bit that he did?
Oh,
Because that's when I was like, I'm in love with this guy, because that bit sold me over. I couldn't stop laughing. I don't even know what happened the rest of the show, because I was laughing at that bit for the entire next 45 minutes.
Of course.
You remember what he said? Yeah, he's like, he says, which we didn't talk about that. Why the rings get away with this? There's few effects that we do this with, but he goes, did you see what Boris did? He linked the rings and then he pulled them apart, and then he did it like 17 more times, because wild in French means repetition or something to that effect. Or no, means repetitive. Wild means repetitive, and
that was it exactly.
So one of the first rules we learned of magic, right? Don't do the trick twice. Don't do the trick twice. But there's certain effects, sponge balls, the linking rings, ambitious card, even crazy man's handcuffs, that we insist that the routine cannot stop until we've done the effect multiple times.
Until you like it.
No, you didn't see it the first time. You must see this again. You must see this more slowly. You must see this, even though I fear you could possibly figure something out from it. You have to see this 5 more times. So your thoughts, why is that? Why do certain routines we get away with that?
I think it's just fun to show a routine where you break the rules. Because like either the spectators know it and they know, like, oh yeah, if a magician does something, he will never repeat the effect, because if he repeats the effect, we're gonna catch him and we're gonna find out the method and we're gonna see the trick. Or sometimes it's not that they don't know it, but it's also fun just to say, hey, we know that there's a rule in magic, or maybe you don't know that, but we never repeat an effect, because obviously it's based on surprising you. And like, and if I perform it again, obviously you won't be surprised because you've seen it already. But what if I could perform it again? So maybe you can catch me now. And suddenly people were like, oh, okay, yeah, show us. Come on, monkey boy, show me.
Trick.
And one,
ready?
How did you do that?
So the next one, of course, you had no idea what was going to happen. It wasn't completely improvised, but no one knew that Cousin Cajun Mike would be taking over my set at 4F and pulling up one of the only Frenchmen we had to work with in the crowd. So I got this one ready. You have to listen carefully. Cajun Mike talks very quickly, so you have to listen slowly.
Wait, look. Wait, oh. You have to shut that light so you don't move. Okay? Okay, look, you take the flashlight, I'll grab it. Okay, take the flashlight. Oh my God, look. Okay, I want to squeeze him real tight so he don't get away. Oh, he hopped away. Wait, you need the flashlight. Right here? You got that?
Awesome.
Oh, he's right there. Hold it. Show everybody. Okay, wait, shine the light so he stays totally still. Stay still right now. Now, wait. You got it. Hold your hand. Stay real still. Just got this one right here. Look, wait. I see another one right. Oh, now reach up with your right hand on your left shoulder and grab him real. Yeah. That's good. Now, grab him tight. Okay, now we're going to put one each time. We got to keep them in the toss. Okay, you go like that. And just put it in the toss. That's good. Now, you know the frog call, you got to go really good. Really. You don't know how a frog goes? It goes really, really. No? Okay, how many frogs? Count again, how many frogs? how many cards do you have left? One. Just one.
Just one.
Just one.
So fun.
Boy. Oh God, it's so good to see that again. I haven't seen it since then. Oh my gosh.
Now this is a weird example because you don't really expect Cajun Mike to do magic, but is it weird for you being a magician's volunteer? Because people pick a lot on you at 4F. Like they'll pull you up a lot as a volunteer. You see a lot of the same volunteer over and over. I hate it. For one, like as much as I love performing and being on stage, when I have to be the magician's volunteer and I have to just kind of like know that I'm supposed to act human right now and not like upstage him and try to listen and focus and do what he tells me, I hate that. And I'm hoping like none of my volunteers feel that way where they're like, they do not want to be here. I don't like it at all. So like, but you seem to not mind.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, honestly, it stresses me out every time someone asks me to, go on stage and help them. And so here there was a good reason for it because I'm French, so it's working so well because I'm French. So it's okay with that. That's why I can say the word in French. I can say trois instead of three, or play with me,
Yeah.
and we know each other and we're friends. So that's awesome. But yeah, sometimes I'm just like, oh shoot, it's hard to act like a normal person,
Right.
or a magician. At the same time, this is what they expect from you too, because you're not going to. It's not your stage, it's not your performance. You just need to do, what they want you to do. And on the other hand, there is also this kind of thing between you and him that he knows you are, Michael, Boris, whatever, and you know that you're not like a regular person. And sometimes you think maybe he's expecting me to do something, or maybe he's planning me to say something or do something so he can play with it and then do a joke about it. And if you don't do it, maybe you would, put it in trouble. Or maybe
It's a lot of pressure.
you would be
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, I would look like an idiot or a jerk by trying to, say something funny, which is not meant to be funny. Yeah, but for the kiss act,
Not just the
probably
language.
the kiss act, I mean, you're right not to show it. And sometimes I would even say, yes, just wait until you see it live. Or if you want to see it on video, go and see it and discover it. Because the trailer like pretty much gives away a lot of things, like, some of
The one right now, the one I'm about to show of the kiss.
oh, you can, because I'm pretty sure here, like lots of magicians, I've seen it at a convention sometime, or
Okay.
seen it on video. So it's okay, it's fine.
Okay.
But yeah,
I'm gonna show that here. And thank you, Abel, for finding it. Magicians really care about, or at least most of the viewers. The artistic ones loved the first part of this, but we know what you people want to see. But so anyway, I'm going to show that now, and then of course I'd like to hear more about it. I have never done the show, so every time I'm watching here, I'm looking for notes. I'm looking to figure out like what can I do, assuming that show that they're going to continue, because I think I don't know, I hadn't heard, I didn't know about the other one not being around. That was what, 3 years ago. So don't come to me for your news necessarily, but hopefully it will be continuing. And later we can do this again, so I can show you what I have in mind. And I'd love to pick your brain and get any advice from someone who has not only been on the show, but spoiler alert, I already said it anyway, he did fool him. And that's what's funny, is because he's French. Now, let me make sure I have it queued up. Oh, I think it played the. Yes, that should be the one. And almost. Hold on. Let's see. Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. And then I'll let you go, Boris. I know you need rest. It's really late for you there. So after this, we'll schedule another time that we can come back and talk more about Lady and the Tramp and other Disney movies. All right.
Bonjour, my name is Boris White and I come from Paris, France. Some people think just because I'm French, I'm very suave and romantic. Well, it's pretty accurate. I love to play with emotions in my signature act. And I love to play music because music is a wonderful way to just tell a story even without talking. But thinking about my act through Penn and Teller's eyes has allowed me to strip my act down and try to get inside the mind of Penn and Teller. Of course, hopefully to fool them. Penn, Keller, get ready. It's gonna be wild.
It's gonna be wild.
With two randomly selected world famous magicians, please welcome Boris Wilde.
Thank you. Thank you. Bonjour, Penn. Bonjour, Teller. It's a great honor to be here with you today. But I must say, it was a big challenge to come up with something special for your show because, of course, I want to fool you, but for that, we have to be very, very good. So with this routine, I try to imagine what you would say and how you would talk in your tricky little codes. And I spent so much time doing this that I actually began hearing your voices in my head while I perform.
What a bunch of nonsense. This guy created a way to hear my thoughts in my voice. There would be real magic.
See? Did you hear that? I told you.
did.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
Sound a lot like me.
But now, for the trick.
The Frenchie is not using a fresh deck, which means he's got the cards set the way he wants them.
Well, yes. So it's probably better if we use a brand new deck of cards that comes straight from the factory. Yep, and yep. And would you please choose
Phoenix.
any deck you want, anyone you want?
Indeed.
Right here, all right. We don't need those. And let me open this one here for you. And obviously the cards are in brand new deck order. Yes. So I'm going to shuffle them. Yes. And Taylor, I mean, it's funny because when I do this shuffle here, it's like I can hear you thinking and Penn doing the talking for you.
Teller says watching you do that shuffle makes him think you know a lot about the ancient Egyptian pharaohs.
So it actually stopped early. So I have to apologize. I created a highlights video of everything that or the best parts of my talk with Boris, which was actually 2 hours. So stay tuned because we'll put out a link and members will be able to watch at least an hour's worth of some more Boris Wild wisdom in the future. What happened was the entire edit process that I had worked on is gone. It vanished and I lost it all. So I was scrambling at the last minute to throw a highlights reel together, which actually the first part, it didn't look half bad. I would like to show the end of that one. So if we have Boris's Fool Us video, if you could, do we have the link for that? Yeah, we do. It's right here. So I will, how do I, can I grab it off of here? I can show it. Okay. And I want to show you the end there. We already know, I think, what happened, and we're not here to try to figure it out or discuss the manner of how it was done. We can do that later, but really just to see the end result. Had some great footage of Boris, and what an interesting routine to be able to hear their voices. So let's see. We have, okay. I'm gonna open this and then fast forward to the last part. Okay. So give me a second here.
Friends, Some people think just because I'm
Because
French,
I
I'm
thought I had
very
actually got the
suave.
end, but
I
let's
was
see
like,
here.
okay, what would they think? They would think this, they would think that.
Right about.
They would think.
I don't know if I've ever seen pen make my expression.
Thank you.
Are you happy?
Oh, yes, yes. It's a pleasure to be here. I mean, it's Vegas, Penn and Teller, the best magicians in the world here, this show. I mean, come on.
Was it your intention to leave both of them speechless?
My idea was just to, come here and just perform something for them that they would enjoy. And
did you come up with this trick just for them?
yeah, I created this trick first, and it's true. What I said at the beginning is very true. For each routine, I was like, okay, what would they think? They would think this, they would think that. Okay, well, and I started to hear them. I'm like, when they talk now, nobody knows what they're saying. But what if we could hear them, but not after? During the performance, and I put all different together, and that was it.
Brilliant. All right. What do you think, Boris? Should we find out if you fooled them?
Well, I would love to hear them, of course.
All right.
Boris, will you allow me to actually speak for myself now? Can I speak? Good. The idea of doing our thoughts and how we speak in code and the way we think was just brilliant and original and beautiful and frighteningly close to what we really were thinking at those times. You could almost have passed it off as a mind reading act. Those are not just clipped things that I said before. Some of those things I'm fairly certain I never said. That is actually cloning my voice. Now, we caught you on a few things we kind of sort of think. But neither Teller nor I could remember. And I'm gonna trust you. I want an honest answer. Did you square up the deck before I said the number 3? Or did I say the number 3 and then you squared up the deck?
No, it was squared before you said the number.
It was fully squared when I said the number 3.
It was.
In that case, would you use my clone voice to say what you wanted to say? I think you fooled us.
Boris Wild, ladies and gentlemen, representing France, national champion, actually Grand Prix winner in France. It is like 3 a.m. there. He's gonna be checking out the video, I'm sure. So show him some love. Pulled it off. Got the FU trophy. Amazing. I love their response. I love that whole idea of hearing their voices. That was beautiful. So if you've followed the show at all, then you know I have a segment called the Magician's Pose. And it's a little game we play. So before I bring on our next phenomenal guest, we're going to play that starting with a picture of Boris. But basically, this is finding who has created the best magician's pose. So it works like this. I have a little theme song. It goes, pose like a magician. But that's all I can do, actually, because I don't want we'll lose the stream. I think that's the most notes. For those that don't know, I was actually doing a tune known by the Bangles. You know the Bangles, right? You're a big fan. Remember, some of their music there. Okay, so Fitz says hello. All right, you got to go now. Now they know that I'm working from home. See, for all they thought I was in a huge studio until my cat showed up. Actually, Fitz has several appearances during the Boris Wild interviews, so you're going to want to see the long version of it. And once again, I apologize that the highlights reel got all messed up. But actually, it didn't turn out bad, except we missed the and I had to find it. But the next version will be incredible. So get ready to vote. Anybody in chat can vote for their favorite magician's pose. So let me show you the first one here. The first one is going to be a Boris. Now remember, our last winner was actually a dog that beat not only Trig, beat the young version of Trig, but also beat not one but where is it? But 5 ice McDonald's. Yep. And the winner was actually this puppy. So now we're going to give you the first pose, and that is this one right here. This is the magician's pose. This is Boris Wilde. So that is pose number 1. So oh no, was it really because I sang like 5 notes from the Bangles? Oh no. Wait a minute. I don't know. How do I reconnect? It doesn't say that it disconnected. Did I really did I really get disconnected from Facebook because of that? Because I thought I planned, like, I don't even sing well. How could they think that that was anything? It's not showing on StreamYard that I disconnected. I don't know. No, it says it's still going. Fit says it's still going. So we have the first pose by Boris here. Now, here's who he's competing against. So Boris was our guest just now, but you don't have to vote for Boris. He is competing against Dr. Strange. So pose number 2, the magician's pose, is going to be Dr. Strange. And then pose number 3 is actually going to be Criss Angel on a motorcycle. So our third contender for the magician's pose contest is Criss Angel on a motorcycle. Now, I know you're thinking that's a lot to ask for Boris to compete with Dr. Strange and Criss Angel, which is why I want to balance it out. We're going to even this out a little bit. So actually, we're going to use the same picture, but this is going to be Criss Angel on the motorcycle with Matt King riding in front. So that, I think, balances out a little bit of the mystique that Criss Angel had on that bike. So that's what Boris is competing against now. So you have a choice of what I call mac and cheese, or Dr. Strange, or Boris Wilde. All right, get your votes in. And while you're doing that, I'm going to show these videos a little bit out of order. It's been a weird night. So if I can get that car commercial, I would love to show. We're going to have a commercial break before we tabulate the winner of the Magician's Pose contest. So let's see here. I think I can find it. It's up here. There's no big, no, I got it. Perfect. Okay. So get your votes in. You can put a name or just a number in the chat. We're going to go ahead and share this one in a moment. Okay. And that's going to be, let's turn that down a little bit. All right. Add to stream. Boom.
My name's Eric Leclerc, and for years I've been eating everything. And today I'm here to taste the Ford Kuga. I'm super excited. Now the steering wheel was really interesting to me because there was an incredible combination there. The texture of the outer layer was soft, smooth, and elastic. The center core was strong. It was dense and metallic. Oh, the glass. You know, at first it looked like any other glass. But the moment I put it in my mouth, I could sense it had some kind of coating on it. The kind of coating I've tasted on sunglasses before. It's really good. That's great. He never talks. Oh, the seats. There's a surprising blend of fabric and leather there. Because of the tiny perforations in it, it had some sort of lightness to it. There's no doubt in my mind that that was high quality leather. It was soft and tender. It's really good. It was delicious. That engine belt, you know, when I saw them press rubber, I thought I'm up for a good challenge. But when I bit into it, man, those steel fibers, I mean, no one can eat that. Like, no one. I can't eat this.
What do you mean you can't eat
It's, I can't do it, I'm sorry. You know, as someone who's known as the man that eats everything, I really thought I had tasted it all. And I'm proud to say that today I tasted a Ford Kuga. Spectacular.
Brought to you by Ford Kuga. I love the way he says it at the end. Today I tasted a Ford Kuga. I love everything about that commercial. It's actually one of it's basically my favorite of his works, and he's had some really cool stuff recently. But before I introduce you to my next guest, let's find out who our winner was. We tabulated the votes, and it looks like the winner is actually Jessica Jane. Jessica Jane wins our Magician's Pose contest. Wasn't even a contender that you could vote for because I knew everybody would vote for her right away. So she wins it, much like the puppy did last time. I apologize, Boris, but what are you going to do? So congratulations. Yet another amazing Magician's Pose contest, one that because of my theme song may have gotten me kicked off Facebook. I don't even know. I don't even care. Like, whatever. We'll figure it out. We'll be fine. So let me get my camera going again. And Jessica is doing an IBM show for us called Variety Talk. So make sure you check that out. Watch for that. We have some amazing programs going on. Let me, Jessica, move. Can you, I got to finish this. Can you just scooch it? Okay, you're good. Thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have some more video footage for you. This is one that happened just recently, actually. So to introduce my next guest, I'm going to show you a very cool magical performance that happened at the Super Bowl. I don't know if we have a lot of people watching internationally. The Super Bowl is like a big event here. It's a match. It's like a sports match. It's a big event that happens, and Eric Leclerc was actually there at the Reddit studio performing for none other than T-Pain. Let me see. Do I have the link though? I don't have the tabs open. Tonight hasn't gone quite like we thought. Oh, you have it. Oh, there it is. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Get that opened up. And there we, yes.
Super Bowl. And now, Reddit proudly presents the star of Big Trick Energy on Netflix, a winner of the Penn and Teller Fool Us show, and Canada's two-time Magic champion. Everybody give it a round of applause for Eric Leclerc.
Yes! What's up, everybody? How you guys feeling? Listen, it is such a thrill to be here. Thank you to Reddit and the NFL for hosting this amazing event. Here, let's go back in time a little bit. Did you guys know the 1989 Super Bowl halftime show was a magic show? 100% magic show. It was quite the spectacle. You guys can check it out. That's right. The last time the Bengals were in the Super Bowl, Elvis Presto performed the world's largest card trick. It was something to see. Or will you find me flinging any vinyl records in the crowd? And just so we're clear, I won't be dancing. I'm not here with backup singers. However, I did not come alone. A Super Bowl needs a special host. It needs food and drink, live musical performance, and so much more. So ladies and gentlemen, Please help me welcome multi-time Grammy-winning artist, entrepreneur, and star of the hit program Go Big Show on TBS. This is T-Pain. Let's go. Let's go.
Thank you.
Yes.
Let's go.
What's up, man? How's it going?
Let's get this party started.
Thanks for being here.
I don't know.
You don't
Most
care at
people just
all.
call me stupid.
You're like, just show me your trick, Magic Boy. I get it. You know, when I heard I was going to be co-hosting with T-Pain, the first thing that popped in my mind was, man, did I ever undercharge for this show? Basically,
Any animal?
any animal.
Capybara.
A what?
Capybara.
A bird. Great.
Sure.
Yeah. This is going great. All right, I'll let you pick the color at least. What color would you like?
What color is a mallard? Sure. Give me a purple.
White bird. All right. Now remember, I couldn't say anything. Has it been 10 minutes yet? All right. I was like this. Are you ready, guys? Watch this. Here you go. Come on. Thank you so much. All right, let's move on. No, it's okay. Come here, buddy. It's okay. Come here. It's not a real bird, guys. It's not.
Gross.
This is. Now sit back there. Good. All right. Now here's what I'm gonna get you to do. I want you to memorize one of these cards. Make sure you see it. It can be anyone, but don't let me influence you. All right? I'll turn my head. You got one?
No.
Take your time. I just wrote some names. Every single name is different on every single card. Hey, can you touch the card that you memorized? Which one was it? Go ahead.
This one out. There it is.
It was the 6 of clubs.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Always check the back of things. Remember, if you guys trust me, let's go. Give it up.
Welcome to the stream. The one and only Canadian two-time national champion, Fool Us winner, Eric Leclerc. It's so good to have you here. Welcome. Oh, no. Wait, we didn't do it. We didn't do the check. Let me make sure your audio. Are you messing with me? Oh, we can't hear you. Of course, that'd be typical. Hold on. Wait. Edit
Now?
Yes.
How about now?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah,
Great. Oh, là, c'est long tes affaires, enfant de chienne. Let's go! Nice to see you, man.
Oui, on peut parler français si tu veux, mais on a juste
call that
trois
French.
magiciens qui parlent français. Yeah, we'll do it.
Yeah.
So great job. You have had some incredible success lately, and I got to tell you, I could not be more happy for you. Yeah, amazing stuff.
Thanks, man.
And just you know who your real fans are, and I don't mean me, I mean my sister. But my sister turned me on to watching you. I'm like, yeah, this guy, he's good. He's got some stuff. So I'm gonna ask you questions out of order, okay? And then I don't know if you know how this works, but we have a little bit time here, but we can't go too much past an hour on our Facebook show. So then we end that one, and then I keep like an after party going where people can come in and ask questions, where we'll just hang out for however much time you have on the Twitch channel. So on my Not That Magic Mike Twitch channel, we're not as limited, and it's a little bit of an older crowd is what expected. Now the Facebook crowd is a sort of a family crowd, so I want to remind you that
you had me waiting backstage for 50 minutes watching Boris Wild videos, and now we're gonna
which wasn't live.
Minutes.
Yeah,
we're gonna go play video games.
Right, exactly. That's how we do it now.
Great.
So yeah, but you learned how to do the linking rings.
Yeah, it was great.
So good. Keeping in mind that it is a family crowd, I'm going to phrase this first question very specifically. What is the second most unusual thing you've tried to pass through airport security?
I mean, I get flagged all the time for my Rocky Raccoon and my coin bender Sharpie.
Okay.
It probably has to be, probably ketamine.
Actual ketamine?
No.
Okay, we don't want to. Yeah, I was like, okay, then I should ask you about the third.
Actually, you know what? It's funny you say that. I have been experimenting
with passing things in a thumb tip in the scanner.
Yeah.
And it doesn't pick it up. It doesn't, like the super sensitive scanner that has dots everywhere when you walk out. It doesn't pick up a thumb tip with a little, well, it's a bill, but it could be anything you want in it, you know. Anyways, little tidbit.
Well, what are you saying? It's invisible. Why would it pick it up?
It doesn't pick it up. I have no idea.
Okay.
No idea. Not a bit. It's an actual thing.
Experiment day, experiment night. Yeah.
I've performed for TSA agents like dozens of times, but I also like being, you know, they have, we think they have more power than they do. They have more power than the cops, but if they're like, oh, what is this? You're like, I can't tell you that. They're like, okay. You know, if it's something that's a piece of plastic, like you don't need to tell them, but people are always like walking on eggshells. And I'm like, sorry, I can't tell you that's classified. And like, okay, every single time. They push the limits, but they know that they're not like allowed to ask if it's not threatening. So I like having fun with them that way. I live life on the edge, Michael. Let's go, Kiss.
That, you know, that really works for basically everywhere except for when you're trying to go across the border into Canada. Everywhere else, I've basically been able to get acknowledgement that, okay, it's a magician, I want to ask questions. Not when I'm crossing the border. It's crazy and Canadians are known for being so friendly, but that's not the impression you get when you first are crossing. They're like, you're a magician, what are you hiding?
Right.
We got pulled over.
We were 6 magicians in my caravan coming back from Magi Fest one year, and I got a little lippy. I was driving. I was also wasted, and no, I wasn't drunk. And we got not lippy, but it's like, what are you doing? We're like, we're magicians. Like, any weapons in the car? I'm like, no, we're Canadian. He's like, pull over. And we were 6 people. They took all our stuff. All our stuff was everywhere in the garage. And the dog, they had a dog like walking around the van, and his feet were they were all muddy, and they were getting mud everywhere. And I was raging on the guards. I was like, clean your dog's feet. What is this? Clean your dog's paws. And we all had a big laugh, and we spent the night in the can. We did it. They let us go. It was fine. It's great.
It's such a difference going back the other way, because going in, it's like, you're a magician, what are you hiding? And then going out, like the guy was totally like, oh, hey, you do magic? Hey, Roy, this guy, show Roy a trick. That was what it was going back into America. So it was very misleading.
Yes.
The Border Patrol and how they react to magic.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I stand by our border guards being nicer, but hey, I'm not going to argue with the host with the most. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers. So, real quick, let's talk about, because that just happened. What was that like? And I'd like to know a little bit of the mental preparation of what went behind the. I didn't show everything of what you did for T-Pain, but what was that process?
Well, I was nervous. J'étais nerveux, calvaire. I took a lot of risks on that, bit. It was 7 minutes I had with them, and I did a pre-show, which pre-shows are notorious for if you don't say the exact right words. By the way, Assy Win has a new book on pre-show. It's called Before We Begin. It is amazing. Nothing like this has ever been written in the magic world. I'll stand by this book. It's amazing. It really changed my pre-show game. But pre-show, especially on TV, is always a little tricky because you want it to look super fair on camera. Also, I arranged to get his Rolex beforehand from his wife, who forgot and told me she got it for me and gave me his bodyguard's Rolex. So in the middle of the segment, I'm like, hey, do you want your watch back? And he's like, what? That's not my watch. He's like, is that your watch? And I'm like, I'd have to go on, improvise on the fly. So I took some risks, and they paid off because now I have a quote from T-Pain saying he stole my bodyguard's Rolex. T-Pain. So that's for marketing materials. That's great. It wasn't stressful. I wasn't stressed because we had rehearsals, and I was more stressed for the magic. Once I had that Rolex in my pocket before we began, everything was smooth. But it was I have a newfound love for scripting. I used to never do it. I used to perform so much that my scripts would just evolve. And I'm like, oh, at this point in the routine, I say this. But now after being hosting shows and being on TV and doing live stuff, I'm a big believer in scripting. I know you're a huge scripter. All these medals, all those medals and trophies in the back there that you're blatantly showing off. is all scripted. It's all, competition acts that were scripted from, even though you're a good riffer, I'm not taking that away. But script, I have a newfound love for scripting, and your jokes hit better when you can, practice the inflection on it. And yeah, I'm a big scripter.
We're going to talk a little bit about that because, and I am as well. But one of the big components of the show is explaining about how improv has affected me and influenced everything that I do and the ability to improv. But it's all based on being prepared and what you've done up until that point, what your experiences have led you to that point, so that you can improv properly, so that you can do a good job with that. And I actually have a video example of you and I improving together, because we've always been able to play off each other really well.
Or on each other.
Yeah, totally. Which there's probably some stories that we can't tell, but nonetheless, let's see, the next video I'm going to show is I think that we have to give people what they want, and I'm just going to show the end of your Fool Us presentation. It's not the whole thing, and I'm huge on everybody like going to the links to see more, but of course we know magic is meant to be like in person anyway. So let me see. So we have that here. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Let me find the here it is. Yes. So let's see, Abel, if you remind me what number did I want to stop at there? That was
Organise-toi, mon tabarnak. Let's go.
6. Oh yeah, 6 minutes exactly, right? Okay. Perfect. And boom. All right. So if you didn't catch it, we'll put the link in the chat for you. This is the end, so you can get an idea of what Eric is doing on Fool Us for Penn and Teller.
Nice to air meet you. This is a messy act practice.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have people who clean this up.
No, I know, but at your house.
Yeah.
Like, do you practice at your house?
I did practice this.
I was so mad here. I thought I'd ruined it all.
Really?
Let's see.
No, I'm fuming right now. Look, I'm fuming. Look at my face.
What a great routine.
Thank you.
You know, we've been trying for 30 years with a really good needle in a haystack routine, and using a little bit, although not as well
get
as
your
you
own
did,
material.
a little bit of that premise, needle in a haystack,
Right.
finding something impossible.
Yes.
It's really, really good. And
Thank
it's
you.
also great to see someone who really understands what this show is about.
Thanks so much.
The show is called Fool Us, but the real reason for this show is for people to come on and do fabulous original magic and be funny and entertaining every step of the way. I have to ask you a question. Teller thought you had some sort of container. We're not going to describe it exactly, but some sort of jar or something that you carefully placed the hero in. And I thought I remembered it actually fluttering down. But did you place it in? Was it carefully placed?
It was Leggoed about right here. Just
okay. Well, like I said, Eric, the important part of the show is to do a really entertaining, wonderful piece of innovative magic that the whole audience loves. And the part of the show that doesn't matter nearly as much is the fact that you fooled us.
Yeah! Can I shake your hand?
I was so happy because I messed up. Did you know about this?
No.
Okay. So
Like I was gonna ask you,
man, there was a huge flash. They saw it too. They thought I was busted, but the method was so good that they couldn't even correlate how. So the method was, the box opens on both sides, and on one side I took a big cloth and I printed packing peanuts all over it. So on one side of the box you have this, 5 or 4 feet of just packing peanuts. And on the other side, you have a cloth that looks like the box is full. So as Buddy and I are mixing up while they're signing it, I open it on the cloth side, drop the peanut on the cloth, close it, we shake it again, and then when I jump, I steal it, and then when I jump in, the cloth disengages, and I shove the cloth in my pants. Right. So at the end, when I fall forward, you can see the inside of the box is ungimmicked, and everything's examinable because that cloth is now in my pants. Well, there was so much going on during the trick that I tucked it in, but only halfway. So I had this huge tail of material, of fabric, sticking out of my pants. And when I dove in, I got up, and then I just jumped in the packing peanuts, and I started swimming, which is not in the edit. And I hear people go, oh, and then I see them go, what? And I get up, and I feel the cloth on my pants in the back, and I'm just tucking it in like this. And I swear to God, the interview with Allison, I was fuming. And I saw them like, I saw them see it. But I guess it just looked like it couldn't have possibly looked like my shirt tail. It looked like a tail. It was huge. Anyways, so that's why I was so emotional at the end. I thought 6 months of work down the drain. Wow, I'm really drunk. This is my 3rd martini. And 6 months of work down the drain. And that's why when they said you fooled us, I was like, bouncing on the walls. One of the best experiences. I recommend everybody to go on that show. It's so fun.
Yeah, only because I know you, I felt that you looked like you thought you didn't get it. And then he looks like he's about to let you down. He looks like he's setting you up to go like, hey, you did a great, even though you didn't fool us, you did a great job. And I totally believe that you were caught off guard and did not think you were actually going to fool them. Even the part
I had
when you put your hand
6
up.
of my friends down there too. They all came to see me. They were in the audience, and that was March 12th of last year, right before the pandemic. So like the day before Vegas shut down. So my emotions were high. I hadn't partied, they were partying all week, and I was going to bed early, focusing on my act, my script. And that night, my God, I really let loose. I danced on all the tables. I smelled all the tables.
So even when he asked you if it fluttered down, that whole part when you moved your hand and it looks like you were just kind of going through the mode, like, whatever, I know you busted me, right?
I had conversations with Farquhar on when they're busting you, it's a game, right? It's a dance. So there's techniques that Sean has devised, being on there 3 times, that don't alienate them, much like a lot of magicians alienate their spectators when they perform magic, and that's why they get heckled. That's why they don't get invited to parties, or that's why they don't have. I really feel like we just, no, seriously, I'm serious when I say that. We have magic. There's a very fine line between being arrogant because it's a fooling art. You're supposed to fool people, right? So there's a very fine, a chest puff or an eyebrow raise really comes off as. So there's techniques, like Sean gave me a great tip. He's like, if they say something like, oh, we think you used a duplicate, instead of being like, nope, which comes off super arrogant, you say something like, a duplicate. That's a great idea. It's not the method I use, but that's way better than mine. That's great, right? So build, break. You say, wow, a duplicate. That is actually pretty great. That's not what I used, but man, that's good. Instead of being like, didn't use a duplicate, So it's like a dance. So I thought he was letting me down. And when he said, the part of the show that really matters is to come on here and do great magic. And at this point, I'm like, and then when you see me, like I was crying. Alex Boyer was backstage doing his hair, and I when I got back out, I was just crying. I used his hair as a Kleenex to clean the tears off my face.
Nice. Now, I read that you came up with this routine on Canadian Boxing Day.
You know how to read?
a little bit, not in Canadian. But when you got to Vegas, you realized that nobody knew what Canadian Boxing Day was, so they wouldn't get the pun of the giant box.
Yeah, you guys don't have Boxing Day, do you?
No, we don't have Boxing Day, but we do. But we box stuff. That was a huge box. So a little bit of how did this come about? Because obviously this is not a typical part of your act. It's not a usual routine.
You know, when you win the show, you either get to go back and open for them with that same trick, or you get some money. And I chose the money because I didn't ever want to see that box again. Alex Boyer helped me out a lot. You know, my living room here, I haven't unpacked. Look, I haven't unpacked for the Super Bowl yet. My living room here was a mess. And like, we learned that styrofoam peanuts were so hard to work with. They were like, they're the worst. You can't if they're on your boat, you can't clean them off. You have to pick it was static everywhere. So it's a Wes Barker idea. Foolis has been asking me for a few years to go on the show, and I hate fooling. I hate, as a magician, like, oh, I'm better at fooling you. You don't know. And I'm like, I'm not going on the show unless I want to fool them. And my friend Matt DeCero, magician from Toronto, he's like, you know what? I went on the show, didn't fool them, and I traveled all over Asia just because of that act. Good thing he doesn't have cats. Yeah, good thing. Who has cats? Michael Darden has cats. Anyway, so Wes said Matt convinced me that I didn't need an act that fooled them, just to go out there and just have fun, you know, as long as both teams have fun, like the Super Bowl. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to do something that's funny, that's big, that plays huge, no card tricks. Imagine doing card tricks with kissy faces on them. And I love Boris. If he's in France. Wes came up with an idea. He's like, I have this deal about like a box with packing peanuts and something. So I ran with that. It was the first idea, the only idea I had, and I pitched it. It went well, and I'm happy to never to see that huge box again.
Wow, awesome! Super proud you did it.
Thanks, buddy.
You fooled them. You got the trophy.
Yes, sir. It's upstairs in the magic room. Yeah.
So we have a little time.
Trophy?
Well, I'm going to talk to you about that, and we can go more into afterward because I'm hoping to bring you back and pick your brain a little bit. That's my plan. We have till the 28th. Whoever wants to send something off to try to enter now.
Yeah.
Apparently, we have till the end of this month to get a video off. I've sent a couple things before, but I don't feel that those particular competition acts is what will be required for that. And I think, you know, it's kind of like go to the drawing board and figure out what your strengths are, what your assets are. Well, right off the bat, like if you had to advise somebody, whether it be me or anyone who would want to be on their show, what would be like a couple main points that you would advise someone as far as developing a routine for that show?
No card tricks.
Okay.
I mean, if you want your chance of getting on the show, your chance of getting noticed if you're not doing a card trick are way higher. I recommend have, you know, they say, oh, just film a little you in your living room or whatever, but actually went through the trouble of filming with the live audience. And before, I've never told anybody this, but it was a high school. It was a French show in a high school. And where I'm from, it's a bilingual city. So the French people, especially like school principals and people, they really like our language is disappearing. French is, you know, it's nobody wants to talk it. It's not cool. So in French schools, you can't even say like, oh, whatever, or like as if, or like those expressions, we can't say them. They're really, really, you know, they're really keen on having 100% just French. So I took a big risk and I said, all right, guys, you guys know Penn and Teller. After the show, I said in French, I was telling them, écoutez mes enfants chiens, I'm going to be doing a trick for an audition for a Vegas show called Fool Us. And I need you guys to like, you know, to go nuts and really give it your all. And it's time to go crazy. You can get up and I see the teachers like, and it was an alternative school. So it was like bad kids. And I just came out there and the crowd was going nuts. And I feel like that promo video really helped sell it. Know that, you know, Michael Close is going to ask for your method right away. So if it's a clever or funny method, even better. Like he wrote me back when I sent my method in. He wrote me back an email with 3 words. It was a great method, bravo. And this was 6 months. This was like week 1, and I was like, nice. Like this is awesome. And besides that, the cliche like have fun, don't take yourself too seriously, don't use too many stock lines, write a script, and just have fun, and don't look like Alex Boyer.
Nice. Which, speaking of which, actually, we're gonna go to your team next. I do have a video of us that you may not have even seen, and so I'm hoping people can stick around because we already went over time, so we're gonna have to end the Facebook portion. But then I'll keep it going because we do have this live on the Twitch channel, and I want to show you our little improv scene that I thought was just amazing from when you were here in New Orleans filming Wizards on Wheels Getting Wasted as our official first guest right before the pandemic, but we hope to get that off the ground. But even bigger than being on a show with Michael Dardon, apparently, you were on a show.
Are you sure that's how you pronounce your last name? I'm convinced you don't know how to pronounce your own last name.
No, well, that's how Boris told me to pronounce it. Why? Well, how would you say it in Canada?
Dardin.
Oh, no, well, that's different. Yeah, we speak different versions of French, which was kind of funny when Boris and I were in Quebec together, and nobody could understand each other.
How long did you guys date?
Boris and I, well, he's engaged now, so that didn't last very long. It's funny you say that because the extended interview got into a lot more of that. And I asked him if I could tell a story about when he was in Quebec at a bar with me. But the funny part of the story is it's a nothing story. Nothing happened. You have Boris Wilde sitting at a bar with me in Quebec asking me how should he talk to these girls sitting across from us that he wanted to go talk to. And I'm looking at him like, are you kidding me? Wait, are you serious? Are you asking me? You're French and you do magic and you need advice on how to talk to women? This is insane. It's like, you don't understand. So that was the non-story. But there's you performed for recently someone who people may know a little bit better than any of the magicians we know, which is her name is, I believe, Ellen. And you took your team, Big Trick Energy. So what I want to do is we're going to show the video. At the end of the video, I'm going to end the Facebook stream and then we'll keep it going. So as long as you keep drinking by all means, because I have a ton of questions. But I wanted everybody to experience that one because that was incredible.
Yeah,
what an accomplishment.
Perfect. You know what? This is a perfect example of scripting. Everything looks impromptu, but everything was scripted to a T. Have a look.
Well, I have to say that your tricks are insane. I really don't know how you do some of these things. So it's a great show. Who's who and how did you all come together?
So I'm Chris. I'm Wes. I'm Eric. And I'm Alex. And we basically met at a magic convention.
As nerdy as that sounds.
At the bar. At the bar.
And you all have different skills, right? Because sometimes you're blown away. You can tell you're blown away by somebody who does something. Like the rain on your neck was crazy. That was crazy.
That was real. That hurt a lot. Yeah, there's no messing around there.
Wow. All right. Well, what are you going to show us today?
Well, Ellen, when we heard we were going to be on your show, we were freaking out.
Still freaking out.
We're still freaking out right now, actually. And because, as you know, for any entertainer, appearing on the Ellen Show is at the top of everybody's bucket room.
Oh, bucket room material.
Huge bucket room material. I know usually people say bucket list.
Now, speaking of which, by the way, there we go. There we go. I have mine right here.
That's it. Alex's bucket list.
There you go. Bucket list.
But stop saying bucket. Okay? But Ellen, this is our bucket room. This is our headquarters. I know it looks like a green screen or a Zoom background, but this is the headquarters where we spend all our time creating tricks that we might perform on a show just like yours. So Ellen, that wasn't one of them actually. I found that on Amazon for $3. Ellen, you're the one that's going to pick a bucket because inside are different magic tricks. So we don't know what we're going to perform today. We're going to let you pick a bucket, any bucket. What do you think?
All right. Well, I just noticed the least conspicuous one is the stainless steel one over far left on the next to the white one. No, keep
this
going.
one over here.
Yeah. I just noticed it, so I'm going to say that one.
Ellen, that's a good choice. Let's see what you could have chosen. What do we have in here? We have, this one says, make fellow Canadian Justin Bieber appear.
Maybe season 2.
Maybe season 2. What else do we have? This one's just for the leak.
And you really got to put that back.
Yeah.
You really got to put that back.
I wrote it right there. But you picked this one. Let's see what we have here. Oh, how convenient.
Hey, that's weird. Card trick. That's weird. On my list, the first thing is perform a card trick for Ellen. How convenient. Who's going to do it? I'm going to do the card trick, Ellen, and you're in luck. I'm going to do it big trick energy style, which means, well, we'll get to that. But you can't really pick a card because you're where you are and we're where we are. But if you could name a card for me, just a random 1 to 52, whatever one you want.
10 of spades.
10 of spades. Great card. You sound like you had that ready to go. I'm glad. I don't know if it's your favorite card. You came to randomly, but I'm going to find a big trick energy style with my blindfold. That's very important.
That's getting interesting.
And my throwing knife.
Ooh, calm down, Wes.
This is part of my skill set. I'm going to go over to the target, and we're going to find your card.
Wes, that target's a little high. Do you want a couple phone books to stand up on? Or?
The only phone book I need is to get your mom's number.
Okay.
Get out of there.
All right, good luck, buddy.
Good luck, Wes. Okay. Ellen, I am over on this camera now, and I know people at home might be wondering, we cut to a camera, is it still live? There we go. It's still live. So could you give me like a random word to repeat? That way people know it's live.
Orange.
Orange. There we go. Now we know it's live. It's not pre-recorded. I got the cards on the target behind me. I got my trusty blindfold, and we're going to try and find your card. Big trick energy style. Hang on a second, I gotta find out where I am. All right, there's the board. Here we go. Throwing knife, board.
You got this, buddy.
Let's go, Wes.
Here we go.
Hey!
Oh my God!
Ooh!
Lucky you didn't get the cat.
Hey, hit one right there in the middle here. Let's see. I'm scared to look. That's how you did, bud. Hey!
Oh my God.
Nice, buddy. Yeah, man.
Good job.
Yes, thank you.
Good try.
Right on. Now that was pretty fine and dandy, if you ask me.
You say fine and dandy?
Instantly regret it.
That's actually bucket list material. We have here on my list, Chris will say fine and dandy after Wes finds all of the 10 of spades.
Can we get some subtitles for Alex?
Can you say that again in English?
Those are the subtitles, I think.
All right. Actually, one thing that's way up on our bucket list, Ellen, and something we've thought about for a long time is we'd love to take a road trip with you eventually. So that's actually, we're going to take a road trip with Ellen. Obviously, after this pandemic right now, all we can do is practice. And so, Ellen, in your studio, you should have a giant map of the United States, and you should have a single dart. So we'll wait till that's wheeled out.
Way safer than a knife, by the way.
Oh, very true, very true. All right, so Ellen,
yes.
Before you throw that dart onto the map, here, we're going to read this. We're going on a road trip with Ellen to an undisclosed location, and underneath we have a quarter. This is in case anything goes wrong. It's basically our emergency fund. It's also Alex's entire life savings. Kind of broke. Okay, so here we go, Ellen. Wherever you like, take the dart and just throw it on the dartboard.
All right, let's see.
Drum roll, boys.
It's going.
Did you hit it?
Illinois.
Oh. Illinois, nice. Okay.
I hear that's lovely this time of year.
I guess so. I've never been to Illinois, but let's see what it says on here. Alex, you forgot to write the thing.
Whose
job was it?
Hold on. We said this was our emergency fund should something go wrong. Ellen, this is no normal quarter. This is actually a state quarter. And if you have a look at that, let me know if you see that and you can read that. On the top of the quarter, it should say something.
Illinois.
Hey! Nice throw! Here, and Alex, actually go right back in your piggy bank.
I actually need that.
Don't spend it all.
You guys, that is incredible. That is amazing. Is there one more trick?
All right. That was beautiful. So hold on. We got questions. Gonna end this one. Thank you guys for tuning in. Stay tuned for the after party. We'll put the link back in the chat there for my brand new Twitch channel where we can keep things going. So how do I even? Yeah, it's Not That Magic Mike. So twitch.com/notthatmagicmike is the Twitch channel. It does it look like it says I'm live. Oh, remove. I don't know if I have no idea. Am I still going on?
Yes.
Organise-toi,
sacrément.
Yeah, but you are live. Remove. Oh, yeah, remove. Okay. So that should work. Yeah. Okay. So we should have ended there. Good. So now you can curse. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So what I find very interesting.
I've been cursing in French for the last hour, bro.
The whole time.
Whole time.
Done the mail. I think that's okay. That Facebook doesn't speak French.
By the way, you thought you were gonna get booted from Facebook for saying 3 words of a song?
No, well, right after I sang that part, we thought that the stream dropped, and there's been times before that actually I was concerned that the Madonna song that Boris used for the Ring Act would cause the stream to drop, the copyright issue. But no, I was trying to sing the Bangles tune.
Shuffle like an Egyptian.
Yeah, pose like a magician. Right. So yeah, you recognize it. Good.
Barely.
barely. So what I found really interesting is, in the magic world, there's a lot of competition, and it one thing that sort of always aggravated me about magicians is that there's always this one-upmanship, of like, if you do a trick, I got to do a better trick. If you do a trick, I got to do one now because I got to prove to everybody I'm a magician too, or like, look at me, which I've never quite understood it, because really, if you put the art first, then it's not about being competitive with each other. But what you guys have done is come together as a team, which is a very Canadian thing to do, and I commend you on that. I mean, you guys kind of got me back into the magic scene, because I think I had told you before that I wasn't going into any events, conventions. I sort of had gotten kind of annoyed with hanging out with most of the magicians that I had been around. And then when I went up, because when I decided I wanted to compete, I went up to the camaraderie, and I met you guys, you and your friends, and it was a totally different atmosphere. And I felt that camaraderie there. I felt like these are guys that want to share, want to learn, want to work as a team, and it was kind of a lesson for everybody, I think, to learn from that, of how it can help
nice of you to say, man.
evolve. Yeah. So can you talk a little bit about that, your team?
Yeah, there is this weird like competition, ego stuff. I mean, I think it comes with a little older generation of magicians, or magicians are just getting into it that don't know like the etiquette around, somebody performing, especially at convention, around other magicians. My biggest thing is not taking yourself too seriously, man, and not giving critique when it's not wanted, and when someone does not asking for it, and magic. There's so many flexes. You could be the best like cardistry guy. You could be the guy that commands the most money, or you could be the guy that's been doing it the longest, or the person that looks the best, or the person that is youngest. The person, there's so many. And when people go to conventions, I think mostly with age, you start getting a little, frustrated, paranoid that, you're a little less relevant than the new guys. And, like it comes down to, when let's say when David Blaine came out and he was doing these tricks on TV, everybody who's a magician's parents were like, why isn't that you? You could do those tricks. Why isn't that you out there? You're better than him. You're more entertaining than him, But the fact is like, hey, man, he hustled. He's the one who had the vision. He's the one who had the sense to bring a team around him and build something, meaningful and fun. And so, yeah, I hate magicians, man. I'm nice to them. How'd you find that so fast?
Because I'm ready. That's improv, baby. I'm prepared.
That's a funny picture.
Because it's one of my favorite pictures ever.
I love and you know, he didn't get it. I was like, hey, I do this thing where when I meet a celebrity, like I do the thing on my phone, and he's like, okay, cool, yeah. And then he's like, he's looking at the phone. I'm like, no, you got to look at the camera and pretend we're having a real picture. So he's like this, and then he goes like, I'm like, no, don't look at the phone, just look at the picture and smiles like, oh, got you. And then he smiles. Like, I don't even have a normal picture with him. And by the way, that T-shirt does not fit me anymore. I have it. I want to go put it on. It does not fit
because you're swole, because you're huge.
Because I'm small. I think I'm drinking too much.
No, I said swole because you're swole.
No,
like
I know what you meant. I know what you meant, Michael.
No, but you're
How's Wizards on Wheels? Is that ever happening?
Well, we're trying to get it going. That's what I was gonna pull up next, is to show everybody, because it came out great. I mean, it looks phenomenal, and of course, having you as my first guest was a brilliant idea. We got some great footage from it, and footage that you definitely made. There was, I don't know why it didn't make the cut for what we were presenting as the pilot, but you remember when you ate the light bulb?
No. Oh, one of the bar's light bulbs?
Yeah, and for some that was one of my favorite things, and for some reason that I had to go find. We had to find that because it wasn't in the cut. But I'll get to that. Hold on, let me
I don't
pull up
that.
one of my favorite. You don't remember that? Yeah,
no,
I was eating crawfish.
That's my friend Eric Jaudoin's wife Marie-Ève's favorite trick. She loves every time she's around me. She's like, "Can you eat a light bulb for me?" And I'm like, "It takes a lot, you know." And she's like, "No, it really does something to me in my genes when you eat a light bulb for me." And you know, I mean, I'm kind of upset that he scooped her before me, because that's really the one that got away, you know.
So let's see. And this is, I was gonna say that when we talked about like you know, a team effort and whatnot, that when you and I were hanging out, it's like we knew what the next effect should be. If we're just hanging out in a bar, rather than one up each other, it's like, where did the art take us? What would be the next logical effect? And everything, like any tricks that we did complemented each other.
Yeah.
And here's an example where, if I can find, let's see, I think I'm on the right. Do you know where I start with the number is for me to? This is the streetcar. Eric and I on. Okay, 6:45. So right.
Michael, you're about as organized as Alex Boyer trying to move out of his parents' basement.
I'm still working on it. This is actually, I'm on the second floor, but we don't have basements in New Orleans because it floods.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry to hear that. Are you still in the same house that I came and visited you?
No. I
That was a great house.
I know. It was great, and what really stinks is they didn't do anything with it for a lot. Like, they're just starting to renovate it. The thing, it was falling apart, so they needed to see to it. But no, I'm in Mid City now, which is close to everything. But yeah, I know, I absolutely love that place, and so got to find something equivalent or with more space. Honestly, I was a little bit. I was over being in the quarter though. After that, being there that long, you can only live like a frat house for so long before you're like, okay, I need some peace and quiet.
That's when you let your hair go gray.
Yeah, it was exactly when. Yeah, actually, when we were together was like one of the last times that you see my hair of that color, and this isn't staying.
Are your pubes gray?
Well, you'll just have to wait.
No. I want an answer. Right? I want an answer, Mike.
Honestly, I would no, but I'm expecting. I don't know why, and so I think that means I'm young at heart. You know,
you're young at the core.
I mean, this has already freaked me out, but that's going to freak me out even worse. But
yeah, are you getting different roles now?
That's what I was going for. I've been telling people I'm not trying to look like Rock Bomber. I was actually, it's for a roles, and I was gonna shave it for this, but then I was like, let me look like I'm a little older than Eric, so I'm gonna keep it for a little bit.
A little.
Yeah, a little. Yeah, no, much old. I'm old enough to be your uncle,
That's why
Here
you
it
want me to
is.
call you daddy every time I come over.
Just when we're in the quarter, for the most part. So we'll talk about it after, but this is an example where the whole concept of yes and improv. You are improving, I am yes anding you and improving with you, but then we're actually improving into the future because we're setting up the post-production to then edit in a way that they're yes anding, that Mickey, who edited this, was yes anding our joke, which wasn't going to come around till later. So you'll see what I'm talking about in just a moment here. Let me pull that up, make sure the volume is up. Yes. And this is filmed in New Orleans.
Toward downtown, we're gonna go toward Canal Street, and Canal Street was called that because they were supposed to put a canal there, and they never got to it.
They
were
just
like,
got drunk.
It's gonna take a while. You sure about this?
We'll
And
do it tomorrow.
And the median, as you guys say, right?
Yeah,
Median, is that the
yeah.
word? We call the neutral ground because at one point that separated the French from the Americans. So they had the French
Les
sector.
Français étaient séparés des Américains.
Le quartier français.
Le
ouais.
quartier français était séparé des Américains.
Et il parle anglais, il parle français. Et donc, s'il veut parler avec, il va à le neutral ground.
Est-ce qu'on peut parler français en ce moment sur ça?
Non, il comprend pas du tout.
Ah, ok.
Maintenant, on a les comment on dit, subtitres?
Les sous-titres.
Les sous-titres.
sous-titres.
On a juste ici, tu vois? Juste que
oui.
quand je parle, on a des sous-titres maintenant.
J'aime ça.
Et tout le monde comprend, mais il doit lire.
J'aime ça, ouais.
So let's switch back to English.
Right.
And then they can lose the scene. Look, no subtitles.
What is this?
Everybody understands
What is
me.
this?
That is an okra. Do you know what okra is? That is the prominent ingredient of gumbo.
All right. And you got to learn about okra and have some really interesting things to eat.
I don't remember much. We really got drunk. I mean, the show was called Wizards on Wheels Getting Wasted.
Yes,
and
which now we had to change the name, obviously.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so now it's actually called, which is why I've been calling this segment Two Magicians Walk Into a Bar, because basically until we get the show going, like we're preparing content. Because the whole word wasted didn't convey well, but it was great to kind of get attention because that got everybody's attention. Wizards on Wheels Getting Wasted, and it was a play off of Seinfeld's Comedians in Cars. But yeah, the entire time the premise is that I'm bringing a magician like yourself around, and we're drinking the whole time. And the idea of like the more you drink, the more we're going to talk about our secrets. But as we know, I mean, people try that all the time of like, yeah, I'm going to get the magician to drink and then tell me everything. And we know that most of us can perform just as well when we're under the influence, even though we may not make sense, but our hands operate properly. So you won't.
I remember, the only thing I remember was the accident my girlfriend had. And I don't think you knew about, I don't think your wife told you.
No.
I'm serious. I can't say it on the air, but whatever.
Okay.
But I remember the cemetery. That was something.
Yes.
That was weird.
Got to go around the cemetery. Which actually, we ended up running. I don't. Why did we take off running? You stole something, or we acted like we?
I think I stole somebody's. I don't know. I don't remember. Like I said, I was.
Let me see if I can find the. Is that in the pilot? There was one part where you were explaining, you were talking about police officers and explaining to me what you call a baton, police baton, and that was near the cemetery. Let me see if I can find. There should be all of that here. Whoops, that's you taking your. Hold on, we're just gonna fast forward and see if that was you taking your shirt off.
The reason we bury above ground.
There's a cemetery.
Because of the flooding. This is a Spanish tradition. We were owned by Spain for over 40 years after the Great Fire. We were no longer French.
Look how young we look.
So that's why a lot of architecture is Spanish. And there's tons of famous people buried here. Really? Like war heroes to politicians to pirates. So we got the
pirates.
We got the good, bad, and the ugly.
I heard the president of Haiti is buried here.
Really?
Yeah.
Of what?
No idea.
Yeah. You don't remember that? You had
president of what?
President of Haiti. So somehow you had that one fact that you were waiting to pull out that I had no idea, but somehow you knew that in that cemetery. I don't know where you got that from, but in the cemetery, the president of Haiti, which is true apparently, was buried there. And so I'm giving you a tour and you just randomly, I understand the president of Haiti was buried here. I was like, oh, sure. Okay. Yeah. I don't know
That's
where
funny.
that came from. And then this is where, I think because I asked you, I started asking you about pickpocketing. Very dumb. You. We're talking about pirates. You is very.
Enough about you.
That's why.
Speaking of pirates, though, speaking of pickpocketing,
Did you feel me? Did you feel me? Be
always
honest.
feel you. But tell me this. What
No,
was
you hadn't felt me.
What's like the most interesting pickpocketing story you could tell me?
Most interesting.
You still Wallace watches all the
Yeah.
usual.
I always give it back though. You always make me sound like I'm a crook.
No,
The most interesting story. Oh, I stole a cop's baton once. His button. His nightstick, his baton. What do you guys say?
Baton.
Baton. It's a baton. What?
The cops don't carry batons.
Oh, it's baton.
It's not he's not leading a parade. He's a. We say nightstick. Is that what you mean?
Fine, okay.
The cops come at you like this.
You gotta be lenient to our Canadianism.
I'm in better shape now.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
That's good, man.
That gives you a little taste of our New Orleans cemeteries where we bury above ground. Actually, based on tradition, not because of being below sea level, which most people believe, but it kind of makes sense because of the area that we're in. So that was that little taste of that. Fun. Yeah, so we got that one in there. There was so much that didn't get in there, though. It was really tough. It was really tough to edit. But I love, my favorite, I think, is our subtitles because of the way that came together. It cracks me up every time to see that later, that you and I are envisioning these words appearing in front of us, and sure enough, in post later they appear. And that's just, to me, the perfect definition of yes and.
Yeah.
You know,
you know what? It's funny you say that because as I was watching it, I was like, oh man, I should have been like, oh, now they're up here and here. Right? I should have like got the editors a little bit, give it a little bit of challenge.
Yeah, make it tough on them, sure.
That was good times. I enjoyed that trip.
Oh yeah, great stuff. And you'll have to come back for sure. And then let me pull up the. Now this clip is an unedited clip because
hey, I got a joke for you.
Okay.
What do Siegfried and the tiger have in common?
What do Siegfried and the tiger have in common?
They both know it. They both know what Roy tastes like.
Oh wow. Magic show.
What did Siegfried give Roy for his birthday? Blowjob.
Oh my god. I'm so glad I told you. I'm so glad I told you that now.
I heard somebody laugh in your
can...
house. Who was that?
Yeah. No, I think. Wait, could you hear? You hear Norma? I don't know. I don't know.
As long as Norma laughed, I'm okay.
No, it wasn't you. I don't know who it was. All right. Yeah. I should have never told him that. The Twitch channel's over 18. But hey, you were very well behaved for the Facebook portion.
So I wasn't. I was swearing in French the whole time.
Well, at least most of the people didn't get it. We actually had quite a few French-speaking people that were in the chat. I was impressed.
It was all my friends. It was Tristan, Eric Jaudoin, Frank the Tank, and Alex Boyer.
Nice.
That's why I'm swearing for them.
And Tinkarglitch is in French is Tinkarglitch. Wait, what's that? I'm sorry.
Michael, my food is here.
Tristan, that's a friend of yours that was in Tristan. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys ban him? I think you guys banned him.
No. Did we? This is labeled as crawfish gag, but it's light bulb gag. Do you have to go soon?
My food is here. My girlfriend just ordered food. I didn't know it was going to be 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I should have warned you. No, it's fine. We'll show this video, and because I started with you eating a car. So we'll go to just the light bulb, which is a little less intense than the whole.
Oh, I can't wait to see it.
And so this is unedited because it didn't make so that this is unedited footage, as you'll be able to tell. But very interesting, and yeah, you're really doing it. So let's check that out, and then we'll let Eric go. But I want you to come back very soon so we can talk about what I can possibly do for Penn and Teller over the next week. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to stream it on this Twitch channel and call it Fooling Them, where we basically do reviews of the videos like yours and figure out what the hell
Don't do cards, man. Don't do cards.
I would rather avoid cards altogether as well. Yeah. I totally agree with that. The one I had in mind was a card effect, but I think I'm talking myself out of it.
It's so easy, it's so easy.
We could do something to do with crawfish, maybe.
Yeah, we're Cindy Crawford.
Let's see if this works.
Oh, you can tell I'm drunk here.
Oh yeah.
Everybody roll. Yeah. Let me know when everybody speaks. Sounds good. Let's go Slate. Eric, Slate.
Class on. Hold on. It's off. It's off. It's just fucking making sound. I don't know how. It's gonna keep going. This is snap. Okay. Sorry, guys. Ready?
Ow. We get situated here. Let me know when everybody's set. 1 second, so make sure it's perfect.
I don't remember this at all.
All right, and we're gonna make the choice and action.
I'm gonna take these bad boys.
Okay, I will be eating the crawfish.
Really? Clean a little bit up. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that's good. Thank you. Yeah. I don't know how you do to eat that, man. It's really light. It's really good.
It's really light.
No, oh my God, Eric.
Crawfish are great.
These are so good. Real good.
That smells so bad.
Man. That's disgusting. Nope, not for me.
All right, you're eating that light bulb. All right, good.
You know what I remember, Michael, from
You swallow the light bulb?
I don't know.
I don't do that stuff.
I don't do that stuff.
Ever to get it out of your mouth.
Well, not with light bulb. I mean, it's not.
Look at the way you look at me. You're so in love.
Okay, it's not like crawfish and light bulb étouffé. Or we're gonna give you a little bit of lumière on your sauce. So I would like to get maybe. Well, we don't have to. I think that's good. I had this.
Wait till you see what comes out on the other end. Ow.
It's like gonna be a crawfish that like.
I was so drunk.
I did want to get maybe one where he does try the crawfish and like loves it, and it's like an orgasmic experience. So he goes to grab a screw and shove it in his nose, and I stop him.
What?
We don't have to do it. You know what? Let's move on.
All right,
How did we both? Oh my God.
You know what I remember? At the brewery, we went to the brewery.
Yeah.
And we were like, okay, this is like the freestyle performance part where we can just go to a table and go nuts.
Yeah.
And Jason, the director, was like, all right, Eric, go first. And I went to the table. I picked my table. I'm like, oh, those two Asian girls and the black guy. That's going to be really good. And I go and I have a killer set. Like they were there were only 3 good people in the room.
Anyone, doesn't matter which one. Go ahead.
Was at this table?
Which one you got?
Come on, Elena. Stop. Come on. Stop messing
around.
Stop messing around.
That's a trick I learned in prison. I learned that in prison. I
I'm
really
so
did.
drunk.
Wait,
It's
so
very
what?
rare
What?
that I see myself
So what had
perform
happened? It went great though. Everything.
It went,
you
no, that's
killed
what I'm saying. Mine went great because I had the good table. And then I remember going off, and then you went and you got all the shitty tables, and we were trying to like get something from them. So it looks like we were both having a good time, but you were sweating. You were not having a good time. Do you remember that? Is that accurate?
Yeah, I think so. Mainly because by that point, I was like so over it. It was, I think it was more like, okay, and now we're gonna actually go do walk around magic. Like here we go. And I don't like to want. I was fine with you doing your thing and like let's just feature Eric. Why do I have to work? And and I thought that they'd get enough out of that. So it's like I don't
was
need
like,
to do
no,
anything.
you go. And I
Yeah, no,
remember
you do some stuff too.
Yeah, it was good. It was good times, man. I'd love to come down again and see if you'll have me.
Oh, for sure. Well, we're gonna have to bring you back, and of course
you still
we got to
married?
get it going.
51 cards if you're holding.
What's today?
Are you still married? It's February 15th.
It's Tuesday. Yes. Yeah. No. 25 years.
25 years.
Yeah, and
25 happy years.
She doesn't know about the girl on the left here, so don't say anything. Yeah, no, that was your table, not mine.
Yes.
Was I even here?
It was fun.
But
yeah, man, good times, man.
That was great stuff. Awesome.
Listen, man, thanks for having me on. I appreciate this. There's a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
and now that
Sorry, I can't
we
stay
saw
longer.
you eating a light bulb. No, you should get some real food now because you had a light snack.
That's
on the
right.
video, but yeah, get some real food, and I'll get in touch because I want to bring you back. I would love to pick your brain a little bit for the next week. That's kind of what I'm going to be working on, is figuring out what the hell can I do.
Come up with a few concepts and then let me know, and I'd love to streamline them. And you know, I think you should come up with, like, before you even think of objects, be like, okay, I want like mine was like, okay, I want needle in a haystack. So it's like, I guess pick a card is a needle in a haystack. You find a certain object, but like, you should come up with like, okay, do I want something appearing, disappearing? I think predictions are the easiest things. Have you seen Andy Gladwin's fooling performance? You should watch it. It's really good.
Okay.
Like, I can't even begin to piece it together, even though it's like, oh, well, they all fit together. It's obvious, but you're like, no, wait, it's really good. It's so obvious that was a fooling routine. The way, not because it fooled them, just for what it was. It was like, how? They had so many choices. So, and in magic, the easiest things to do are predictions, where there's a big build-up, big fair build-up, and then reveals itself as a fun big prediction, a big reveal. But yeah, come up with a few concepts. I'd love to jam with you on them, buddy.
Cool. Yeah, we'll do it. Absolutely. I will take you up on it for sure. Thank you so much
pleasure,
for being
man.
here.
Nice
Everything
catching up.
took a while.
Good.
It's great to have you here virtually, and we'll get together again in person soon. Let's go to the IBM convention. I'm already registered. Let's do it. And then, the FISM is in Quebec, so I'm planning on being there for that one too. We should
We'll
hang
see
out.
you in June, buddy.
Nice. All right. Thank you very much.
Yet?
I'm gonna get a book. I paid for the event. But not hotel. So I need to get that booked. But
we'll figure that out. We'll be roommates.
3 years ago, I paid for the. Okay, that sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking for a place to stay.
Sweet. All right.
Yeah, buddy. We'll see you in June in Quebec City. Let's go.
Thank you very much,
pleasure,
everybody.
man.
Give it up, Eric Leclerc, world champion of Magic. Great to have you here, and he will be back soon. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to figure out. Oh, I guess I can try to raid the Twitch channel. I'll go ahead and end the YouTube right about now. Oh no, that didn't do it. Right about now. Yep, that